What's going on, guys? It's your boy Austin Shope here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about fighters who cannot afford to lose this weekend. If you guys don't know who's fighting tomorrow, it is Brandon Moreno and Amir Albazi. But there was a few guys on the card that I was like, okay, well, if they lose this next fight, bro, they might be screwed. So I don't know. Let's get into this though. So the first one on the list is Mike Malott. For the ones who know who this guy is, he came in the UFC as a pretty big prospect and had some pretty big hype behind him. But it almost seems like his hype went down a lot since his last fight. And if you guys saw his last fight, it was a pretty bad performance in my opinion. If you guys don't see, he came into the UFC and had like 3 first round finishes in a row. He was like looking really good, and then he ran into Neil Magny, his first ranked guy, and Magny put it on him. He TKO'd him in the 3rd round, and then no one was ever really speaking about Mike Malott since then. So I think if Mike Malott wants to get back up there to have a potential ranked match again, I think he has to put on a stunner performance against Trevin Giles this weekend. He can't afford to lose it, and he can't afford to put on a bad performance. He's gonna have to make a statement to be put back on the hype train. He could have just had a bad performance against Magny, but I don't know. He needs to. He can't afford to lose this weekend, in my opinion. I mean, shoot, he was looking good, like I said, but y'all let me know about it because he gonna win. He gonna have to win. The next guy I got is Marc-Andre Barriault. His UFC career has been very inconsistent, but his last performance, he got flatlined real bad by Joe Pyfer, and I don't know, dude. He's on a losing streak right now, so I could see him getting cut potentially after this fight if he doesn't win. He's not the best fighter, but his record's not too bad. I think if he wins this weekend, then he should be in the clear. But I mean, I don't know. He's I feel like he's walking on thin ice right now with Dana. So I don't know. I mean, you can't really see his record up on here, but it's 16-8. He's very inconsistent. Most of his losses that he has are in the UFC, I'm not saying he's not a boring fighter. It's just that this man just can't really pick up a dub and keep winning, if he loses this weekend, he'll be on a 3-fight losing streak, And I guess his last fight, I'll cut him some slack because he fought Joe Pyfer, and Joe Pyfer's looked at to be right now to be a really huge prospect. I mean, the man beat Francis's punch power on the machine and then got flatlined Marc-Andre. So I don't know. He's fighting this guy next, and if I don't know much about his next opponent, but he needs to win, He's gonna need to pick up this dub because, like I said, he'll be on a 3-fight losing streak. And in my eyes, if you go on a losing streak, you're gonna get paid. I think you're gonna get paid a lot less money than what you were making if you kept winning. Because if you kept winning, you'll be given bigger names, which will give you more money. So it's hey man, you do what you got to do, but you got to win your next fight if you want to get that money. So maybe try to go out there and get a bonus to put on a performance. So I think that's what he's going to have to do. So the next one up on the list is the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis he's still ranked, and he's been a big name in the UFC for a while. He fought for the title, I know for sure once against DC, but he's just one of those guys who really can just put on a performance, go out there and knock people out, I think one of his biggest fights that he's had is against Alexander Volkov. He was losing that whole fight and completely just knocked him out cold in the last round. So, I don't know, dude. He's just one of those guys who can always has a chance to, really knock someone out and crack their chin, But the reason why I say he needs to win this next fight is because he's fighting someone who I'm assuming is a prospect, who's a pretty big prospect. Because if they're fighting Derek Lewis, they gotta be good. So he's gonna have to win in order to really keep his legacy at a high. Really cement his name as like one of the most entertaining heavyweights in the UFC history. But yeah, I think that's what he's gonna have to do. I think he's gonna have to knock his guy out this weekend. It potentially could be challenging for Derek. His next opponent is 3-0 in the UFC, and had his first 2 fights were knockouts, and his last one was a unanimous decision. But like I said, if Lewis could keep it on the feet, I don't know if this guy's a good grappler or not, but I could definitely see him, maybe knocking him out first. I highly doubt this dude has heavier hands than Derek Lewis. So, I would say he shouldn't have to worry about too much this weekend. But I could be eating my own words. This guy could be a stud, and I don't even know about it. But yeah, no, Derek Lewis definitely needs to win if he wants to, really go down to be one of the most baddest heavyweights in UFC history. For the last one I got on the list is Brandon Moreno. He's fighting tomorrow in the main event against Amir Albazi. Amir Albazi's like 17-1, but Brandon Moreno is on a 2-fight losing streak. So Brandon Moreno, he was a former champion in the flyweight division. He had a really good rivalry against Davidson Figueiredo, arguably probably one of the greatest flyweight fights in history. One of the greatest flyweight rivalries we've ever seen. This was whenever the flyweight division was at its peak, in my opinion. I feel like this was whenever a lot of people were focusing on the flyweight division whenever this guy was a champion, because he was really entertaining. But he's just been on a downfall recently. He lost his last 2 fights against Pantoja and Royval, and now he's fighting a stud in Amir Albazi. Amir Albazi is a really good grappler, and he got hands too. Brandon Moreno is a good grappler too. If you guys go back and watch those fights against Figueiredo, they've had really good grappling exchanges. But yeah, no, I don't think he can afford to lose if he wants to get that strap back. I mean, it's gonna be hard because Pantoja is like a dog, but I feel like if he loses his next fight, people are gonna start forgetting about him. And in my opinion, Brandon Moreno is probably my favorite flyweight fighter right now. I don't know, I just like his style a lot, but he definitely can't afford to lose, because if he loses to Amir Albazi, it's probably gonna take maybe about 3 or 4 fights if he's gonna want to fight for a title again. So unless he wants to avoid that, then he's gonna have to get that dub this weekend. So let me know what you guys think. So that is going to be it for this video, you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know if you guys liked the switch up and what I did in this video. Maybe we can potentially make it a series if it gets enough likes. But let me know in the comments if I've missed someone on this card that you potentially think could, can't afford to lose their next fight. But yeah, just drop a like and comment. Peace.